Lieutenant Thorell from Firearms Education and Training. Thanks again for joining us on Shooter the Series. And we're back again at Brass and Bass, where we're going to talk some more about ammunition since we're on the subject. Morning, Bill.
Morning, Ed.
Tell us a little bit about what we got here.
All right, well, a couple different types of ammunition. Main types out there is your target ammunition. This is some representations here. Target ammunition is usually referred to as like a full metal jacket or FMJ or a ball round. This is what most people are going to want to go and use at the ranges, just to shoot paper targets, maybe shoot steel, things like that. It's mainly training ammunition. It's a little bit cheaper to shoot. You're not going to be spending as much money just going and just throwing lead down range using your target ammunition. And then another type of ammunition that we have is your defense rounds. So personal defense rounds. Down here you're going to have a lot more of a wide array of what there is. So opposed to just the full metal jackets, you got hollow points, and there's different types of hollow points. Like the Hornady stuff we have here, it's got a little rubber tip in it that helps with expansion. When you're using that, if it goes through, like you're using it at a house, it goes through sheetrock or something like that, it's supposed to help with the expansion to slow the round down and stop and not continue through and possibly injure or kill someone on the other side. And then from there, you've got much more deep pocket hollow points that are again designed to go in and stop in a body and cause the most amount of damage that they possibly can. If you go through a wall like sheetrock, these have a tendency to fill up and then start acting like a ball round, where the full metal jacket stuff is going to be something that might go through a wall and continue on and not stop like it's supposed to for the defensive aspect of it. And beyond that, we have another defensive round. It's super light, super fast, so this we would call it's like a hyper velocity round, but it fragments very quickly. If it hits something solid, it's supposed to flatten out, lose its energy, and drop. And then beyond that, we have another it's a frangible, so it's a compressed powder with the metal jacket on the outside. And again, if it hits a body, it's supposed to inflict maximum damage. If it hits something solid, it's supposed to just powder out and not continue through, and you don't have to worry about going on and damaging something or someone or injuring someone beyond the wall.
So each one of these basically constitutes a different recipe for a different type of use. The HPR that Bill was describing, the frangible, because it's a powder, it is going to spread out very quickly and lose all of its energy. Very similar with the civil defense. One thing that we should talk about, with the Gold Dot, because it has a full metal jacket, is this is the type of round that police officers would use that is going to be very useful for punching through windows, through car doors, through harder targets to get to an assailant. And where that might be really good for a law enforcement round, when you're inside a house, that would be too much. That's going to have a lot of the same overpenetration problems that you're going to have with a full metal jacket or a ball round. So it's important that you kind of tailor the round to the type of defensive aspect that you're actually going to be used. For inside a home, where you have to worry about overpenetration between rooms, or if you live in an apartment or a condo that has adjoining walls, the Hornady Critical Defense might be a better choice, because it is meant to actually slow down and dissipate some energy when it hits drywall, so it doesn't have to act as such a danger to the neighbors. One of the things that we've kind of left out here is we haven't talked a whole lot about reloads. And I try to avoid reloads, like I said before. Reloads don't have the same type of standards that you would get with what we call factory rounds, and these would all be known as factory rounds. Reloads could basically be put together with just about anyone. They don't have the same standards, which are held up by an acronym called SAMI, SAMI standards. All of the factory loads are governed by standards, whereas reloads do not. And another important thing to understand about reloads is that with some manufacturers, the use of reloads will actually void the warranty on your firearms. So you've got to check your manual, read the manual. There's a lot of good information in there, what your manufacturer covers and doesn't cover, and it's important that you get the good rounds to put through whatever firearm you have.
Absolutely. Always check your owner's manual, your firearm, to make sure you're not voiding a warranty. Just like what Ed was saying with the remanufactured loads, especially the reloads from a place that just comes in a bag or something like that. Some of those bulk rounds like that will just come in a big bag that's a reload. Now, factory remanufactured isn't quite the same as a reload. Reload is much more, the quality control is much lower and can cause a squib round or something like that, and you don't want to have that kind of a failure in your firearm. So,
and the other thing we should talk about also is you're going to notice when you look at some of these firearms packaging, some are going to say that they're plus P. You want to make sure that you also check your manual to make sure that your firearm is plus P rated, and plus P means plus performance. They're going to be a higher pressure round. It's going to have higher performance, so you're going to get better expansion. But at the same time, not all of your firearms are going to be rated for plus P. So it's very important that you read your manual so you can have a firm understanding of what your firearm is capable of and what it's not. Can you think of anything else we left out?
No, I think that pretty much covers everything that we can run through with the different types of ammunition, just for the basics of the target and personal defense.
Absolutely. So, once again, target ammunition is appropriate for the range, but it is not appropriate for home defense. So it's a matter of when you go into the gun store, tell the guys what you want it for. And that way you can get the right stuff the first time out. Sound good?
Sounds good, Ed. That's very, very, very informative.
Excellent. Well, you can always come into Brass and Bass and talk to the guys like Bill. They're more than happy to help you out. You can also go to their website if you'd like to order some. Once again, I'm Ed Thorell from Firearms Education and Training. We'd like to thank you all for joining us on Shooter the Series. And if you like this video, subscribe to it, like to it, and more importantly, give us comments, because it's comments that help drive this. Anyway, thanks again. Y'all have a good day.